Hi guys, welcome to Reddit Rabbit Hole. Today, we are looking at the question, what ruins a movie instantly? Please don't forget to like and subscribe to the video, so YouTube gods are pleased. Without further ado, let's get started. When the two main characters fall in love quickly, especially if they start out hating each other. Most recently, Jungle Cruise. It would have been a good movie without them falling in love. They could have just been friends. Background actors in fight/war scenes waiting for their turn to attack the main character. JCVD did a pilot for an Amazon original show that talked about this. He's playing a version of himself in it, but he is also a super spy that uses his acting gig as a reason to be in the places he needs to do spy stuff in. Weak, I know, but read on. He arrives on a movie set where the director tells him this movie isn't going to be like the old school ones he is used to where all the bad guys wait their turn to get beat up by him. Later on, when he's doing spy stuff, a bunch of real guards catch him, and they all rush in. Wait. One guard says, stopping the others, if we all attack him at once, we'll bump into each other and stuff and it will get really hectic. We should go in one at a time. On the one hand, it might get hard to coordinate your attacks in a group fight, so you just wait patiently for what you think is an opening. On the other hand, just get together and stomp the fucker. What's wrong with y'all? Gotta do it like Kingsman, where the guy kills 51 people in 3 minutes, or so in a cramped and chaotic building, yet you can constantly tell what's going on because of the superb camera work. All the guards agree, and JCVD smiles, knowingly thinking the fight just got a lot easier. The first guard rolls up and utterly annihilates him, just full-on beats his ass. It was hilarious. This is why I have completely stopped watching trailers. It's actually revived my enjoyment of movies in a general sense. I was even able to watch the last two without simultaneously scrolling through my phone. I don't understand why trailers are like this these days. Does the general population want the entire story in 2 minutes? Hotel Transylvania 1. The word zing is used once, maybe twice. It's cute and characterizes Dracula's relationship with his wife. Hotel Transylvania 2. They use the word every other fucking scene, making it lose all meaning. The little werewolf kid starts calling the boy my zing. Awkward as fuck. We don't talk about the third and impending fourth movies. When the characters have the misunderstanding and break apart trope. Then the come back together to resolve conflict. I'm so sick of it. Especially when the misunderstanding could easily be avoided in the moment, if they just saw the simple solution staring at them in the face. Tease, always the people closest to them. Getting mad over the smallest of things, and not communicating or expecting the main character to go way above and beyond a real person would or should be able to do. Like beginning of the movie, we celebrate that they got their dream job, but no one else in the movie wants to make the effort to compromise to the new lifestyle and find ways to enjoy the time they have with the protagonist. No, they want to berate the protagonist for making shitty choices that takes them away from quality time when that was going to be an aspect of the change the entire time, causing the protagonist to drop down from the dream job just to make everyone happy. Thanks to babysitting my neighbor's 5-year-olds, I've noticed that this happens in almost every animated kids movie now. I'm genuinely sick of it. It's been done well in a few movies, but since all of Hollywood uses the same watered-down version of a script, it has outstayed its welcome. The storm off and refusing to listen while the other character is like, no, would you wait 1 second for me to explain this? Or better yet, that character is running behind them yelling. I can explain over and over instead of, that's my sister, I'm not cheating on you. Or for advanced levels, 100 messages and voicemails of can we please talk? Instead of here is what actually happened. If you can't make your movie happen without people acting like complete morons, you need a better script. One of the only times I remember it being done well was the 90s film, Nothing to Lose, where the guy comes home unheard, walks to his bedroom and sees his wife from the back having sex with someone else. It's actually her twin sister and her husband, who were supposed to come visit the next day but flew in early. He didn't know, and he just walked out the house and disappeared with nobody knowing why and not able to explain. And of course, this was before everyone carried phones. Perfect. I will slightly defend that. I knew I was going to marry my husband the first week I met him. We had wait 2 years to tie the knot like normal people, but that first impression was accurate. And now, here we are 5 years later. So it can happen. And honestly, isn't the whole point of movies watching things that are rare otherwise, but make a good story? But the fact that you guys waited to actually get to know each other before tying the knot even though it was love at first sight, isn't that the exact opposite of the rom-com trope in question either way? Congrats on finding love. When 90% of your plot could be resolved with an adult conversation, you need to go back to the writing room and sort your shit out. Why did these characters hate each other so much? Because, they just do? Okay, why doesn't anyone on this team communicate with the other members? They're, protecting their pride? No. Okay, how about? They're trying to show how valuable they are to the team. Yeah, that's it. Wait, but then they'd be watching out for the team's best interest. Shit, we're in a pickle here. Actually, it's funny because that's how they shortened some of the Harry Potter books into movie-length screenplays, Goblet of Fire, book: Crouches Moody. But even then, Potter, even then you seemed likely to fail. I was watching all the time, all those hours in the library. Didn't you realize that the book you needed was in your dormitory all along? I planted it there early on. I gave it to the Longbottom boy, don't you remember? Magical water plants of the Mediterranean. It would have told you all you needed to know about gillyweed. I expected you to ask everyone and anyone you could for help. Longbottom would have told you in an instant, but you did not. Goblet of Fire, movie: Neville. Hey Harry, you should try gillyweed. That will let you breathe underwater. This in the first Mighty Ducks movie drives me mad. Coach Bombay is being sarcastic to his old coach, the antagonist, and saying like, oh, I coach a bunch of losers, do I? And two ducks hear it, and they cause a walkout and a forfeit. Easily explained and sorted out, but it doesn't happen. Yep, and so often it could be solved by a few words of explanation. You were kissing her. What they should say. No, that was my twin brother you didn't know I had. I never do that. What happens? No, let me explain. He doesn't explain. She runs off. I love that Ted Lasso does this the opposite way. They set these obvious things up, and then instead of having them take a season to resolve, they have the character who did the thing go to the other character and apologize or take responsibility, and they move forward in a healthy way. Worse is the times when the whole movie could have been avoided by one person simply telling someone what they saw happened. Family game night: daughter goes to kitchen, sees scary man outside. Ignores it, goes back to game night. Whole family is murdered. I literally can't watch rom-coms. The couple separating or taking a break only for a profession of their love and how much they mean to each other is so overdone, but also just not how a good relationship should work. Imagine if in real life you get in an argument with your so. You can have hot heads and need some time alone, sure. But breaking up is a serious step. So either the two are immature and will break up over anything because they can get back together, no worries. Or they are just toxic AF. If I understood it correctly, James thinks that she told Spectre about their vacation. It's very obvious, though, that it's just another one of Blofeld's schemes. Waiting for James' eventual visit at Vespers, Grave doesn't require any information from Madeline. Too constructed to me. Yes. My favorite is the oh-so classic. Guy is hiding a secret from girl. Guy starts to fall in love with girl unexpectedly. Guy tries to tell girl the secret, but someone or something interrupts. Girl finds out the secret and tells Guy she never wants to see him again. Girl and Guy are sad. Guy finds girl and confesses how much he loves her and how sorry he is. Cue romantic music and kissing. Guy and girl live happily ever after. Very topical, as this is the main conflict trope of Bob and Betty in White Christmas. A 1-minute conversation could have cleared up the whole misunderstanding, and it drives me batshit crazy every year. Betty, Emma told me you are going to put the General on national television, and exploit is bad luck for free advertising for your show. Is this true? Bob, no, of course not. She must have misunderstood. I'm going on national TV to ask all his old regiment he commanded to come to our Christmas Eve show so we can honor him and bring in business for him at the inn. Betty, oh. I do love it when films subvert expectations and the two lead characters don't end up together, or just stay really good friends or something. The romances are almost always too shallow, born out of shared trauma more than actual compatibility. Nothing suggesting an actual healthy relationship. I did tech support, and often the password was on a post-it note stuck to their monitor, under the keyboard, or in the top desk drawer. There was a correlation between the likelihood of this happening and being higher up in a company. Executives almost always could be hacked this way. Or when the character seems to intentionally say something in a way to cause the misunderstanding. It reminds me of Game of Thrones when Jon Snow visits the Free Folk to ask them to join the fight against the White Walkers. Free Folk warrior asks how Mance Rayder, the leader of the Free Folk, died. Jon Snow? I killed him. Everybody in the room goes crazy, and they want to kill Jon Snow right now. throwing all the negotiation out of the table until someone intervenes and explains that Jon Snow actually killed Mance out of mercy with an arrow in his heart because Mance was being burned alive by someone else. It would have made much more sense if he had said from the very beginning that it was a mercy kill, but no, it's much better to say something without any context just to cause some drama in the show. Power creep is a huge problem for superheroes because that's basically the only way to make things interesting issue after issue. Oh no, this bad guy is super strong and our hero is getting beat up. Will he find the strength to overcome? Then the hero enters a meditative state and comes out with a new ability, defeats that villain, and then the next villain is stronger than this new and improved version of the hero. Ike about DC, but this is why you can have endless discussions about which superhero is the strongest. There are dozens of versions of each superhero. Some versions of the Hulk could have single-handedly killed Thanos in a single punch because he can destroy planets with one punch or some shit. This is killing the careers of genuine voice actors. I don't want to spend the entire animated movie trying to figure out which characters Dwayne Johnson, Chris Pratt, Rihanna, and Ryan Reynolds are voicing. Just give me genuine, good voice actors who aren't just using their everyday fucking voice. Edit. Seems a lot of people agree, although perhaps unfair for me to include Pratt and DJ since they're not half bad, even though they already get more than enough work elsewhere. We'll just replace them with James Corden, who I think we can agree is an insufferable turd. This is one of my major beefs with movies today. It seems like every integral part has to be someone noteworthy. It's so much easier to get lost in the story when you're not looking for cameos or breaking down a famous actor's performance. Even animated movies, I feel like I'm spending more time asking myself who is voicing it because I recognize it, rather than just enjoying it. I get that movies need a draw in order to stand up against the endless amount of content. I just wish mainstream movies could not have to focus around the actor's name and could be the story itself. The Transformers franchise will always have the most jarring product placement for me. My favorites are that this material can form into anything at all changes to shot of beats, pill full frame and Marky Mark, cracking open a cold one in the middle of a firefight for absolutely zero reason. Scene, just let me explain. No. Storms out reality. Just let me explain. Okay, so why did you text your ex? It's a birthday surprise. He owns an engraving company now. I got you something I needed engraved. Oh, cool. Edit. I have turned movies off that have totally hinged on this plot. I understand you can be already angry and not wanting to listen to what they have to say, but actual stable adults in trusting relationships do not do this. Find another plot device, writers, this one is dead. Edit 2. For those saying, pick another engraving company then. Maybe she knew his talents and chose him specifically because she knew he was really good at his hobby now career. Besides, people can split amicably. Poorly fleshed out character motivation and intelligence, like an astrobiologist illogically taking off their protective gear on an alien planet. A real astrobiologist wouldn't do the one thing you're absolutely not supposed to do, and now they're infected. And it was just a lazy way for the screenwriter to get from point A to point B. Thank you everyone for watching. Please like and subscribe to make YouTube gods happy. See you guys in another video.